Hello, Clean My Space Nation. This week we're talking about a subject I get asked about all the time. What to do about mold and mildew. So in this video, we're going to discuss what you need to know about it and how you can deal with it. So curl up on the couch because things are about to get moldy. Mold and mildew are fungi, which are basic microscopic organisms that can thrive in any moist environment. Now, molds are actually quite important. They're nature's way of breaking down dead organic matter and help regenerate our environment by breaking down leaves and other organic materials, regenerating soil, and doing other moldy things. This is absolutely wonderful for the outdoors, but if mold is indoors, it is not a good thing. Not a good thing. Mold is typically black, brown, white, or green and can eventually get thick and fuzzy. Okay, one quick shout out to mold. We do appreciate that it gave us antibiotics and funky cheese. So what's mildew? Well, it's just mold in its early stages. It's a type of mold and it's generally found in homes on wood products, ceiling tiles, cardboard, bathrooms and kitchen surfaces, wallpaper, carpet, drywall, fabric, foods, insulation, and other organic materials. Mildew is usually black, brown, yellow, or white, occasionally orange or pink, and can look dusty or flat. Mold grows in colonies and starts to form on damp surfaces around the 24 to 48 hour mark. They create mold spores, which are airborne and can land on organic surfaces close to the original source. This is annoying because they spread like a moldy wildfire and you're the one left to deal with it. Not to mention bear some of the health implications that come along with mold. Now, mildew is less harmful than mold, although it still can cause some health issues, but it grows more predictably than mold does, and I find it to be easier to deal with. Oh, and that pink and orange mildew in your bathroom, hence my neon pink top, that is harmless, but it's ugly, so we'll cover it, don't worry. Mold spores can grow or land and start to colonize on damp or moist surfaces like this tiny little baby pumpkin that we used on Halloween. Or they can start to grow on a wet sponge or on your grout or a bunch of other surfaces around the house. Basically, any wet surface, and you might not even be able to see it with your own eyes, but oh, can you ever start to smell it? If you smell something that's a little too earthy, a little too outdoorsy, a little too rotten, or like dirty cheese, gosh, I don't know how to describe it any better. That's not a fine wine, my friends. That is mold. There are health issues associated with mold, which is why people take it so seriously. When it starts to grow and settle, those mold spores are considered allergens, and that can cause runny nose, sneezing, red eyes, rashes, and in more severe cases, can lead to asthma attacks. For people with compromised immune systems, it can be even harder to bear. At best, mold can be an irritant. However, it can also be potentially toxic. That's why if you do have a serious mold issue, be it from a flood or a lack of ventilation, you need to get it treated ASAP. Mildew can produce less severe instances of these symptoms, but a little bit of mildew in a bathroom is more an eyesore than a health threat. So please, don't worry. Mold will also ruin any surface it settles upon eventually, unless it's caught and dealt with ASAP. I actually had a mold issue in my old condo. I kept coughing and I had itchy skin, and I didn't know why. But there was this strange smell coming from my closet. It was this earthy, moldy smell. Eventually, I took a look behind my clothes and I saw a giant mold infestation on my closet wall and carpet, which of course shared the wall with my bathroom. Well, you can probably figure out how this one ended. I had to tear out an entire wall and replace my shower. I had to throw away clothing and shoes which were covered in mold. Not to mention, I had to spend some cold hard cash on that little unnecessary emergency. It was not a good scene. Mildew, on the other hand, is common in damp environments and just needs to be managed. Once it forms, it can be cleaned and treated to prevent regrowth. If you have a mold issue in your home, like what I had, don't panic, but I would recommend calling in a professional company to have a look and handle it. They need specialty protective gear, they can use specialty products, they can test for mold spores in the air, and they'll know exactly how to eliminate the entire problem, not just what meets the eye. If you have mildew in the house, there are some terrific options for cleaning it. Now, one quick note here, CMS fans, bleach can help remove mold and mildew, and it can be an effective cleaner. But that being said, we don't use bleach here at CMS HQ, and there are so many alternatives which work just as well, so here they are. Option 1 is a Clean My Space favorite, vinegar, and we're going to be using undiluted vinegar, and if you have full strength vinegar, even better. This means it's going to be really strong, but that's what we're going to need when we're fighting mildew. Be certain the surfaces you are cleaning can tolerate vinegar first though, so this is a no-no on natural stone and other sensitive surfaces. Simply apply the undiluted vinegar onto the surface with mildew, leave it for 30 minutes, and then scrub vigorously, that means with a lot of energy, with a scrub brush. Rinse and dry and just respray with that vinegar and let it air dry. That will help treat the surface and prevent regrowth. Option number 2 involves using oxygen bleach or hydrogen peroxide. Create a 50-50 mix of either liquid or powdered oxygen bleach or hydrogen peroxide to water, apply to the area, leave it for 10 minutes, and then scrub well with a scrub brush. Then just rinse it, dry it, and respray that area with oxygen bleach and allow it to air dry. Oxygen bleach is not the same as chlorine bleach, but it is a safe and effective alternative, and I really love this option. Option number 3, use a specialty product designed to combat mold and mildew, like concrobium, which is a product I found after that condo drama I told you about. I like it because it's non-toxic, it doesn't have any smell, and it's easy to use and it works well. Remember, clean your cleaning tools after this so that you don't have any mildew left behind. It's no surprise that prevention is key, and the easiest way to deal with mold is to stop it from forming in the first place. What we do know is that mold thrives on moisture, so if you control the moisture in your home, you control the mold. So here are a few handy tips to help you prevent this nasty stuff. Use the exhaust fan in your bathroom. That's what it's there for. The exhaust fan will help eliminate excess moisture from your bathroom, especially after having showers, and you should leave it on during and after the shower for a total of 60 minutes. If you don't have one, just leave the door open and ideally a window open as well. Clean your shower curtain on a somewhat regular basis. This helps reduce soap residue in your shower area, which mildew feeds on. We've got a video on that, and I will link it down below. If you're going to use storage baskets in the bathroom, use the ones with holes in them, which will allow air to pass through. That way, moisture can't build up in those areas and create mildew. Hang any damp towels to dry entirely. Allow air to pass through them and avoid that moldy, musty smell that comes from, a towel not drying properly. The same thing goes for sponges. Let them dry out entirely so that they don't smell. One of my favorites is to use a squeegee after you shower or bathe, or just towel dry the too many T's. Towel dry the tiles in the tub. One of my favorites is to use a squeegee after you shower or bathe, or you can towel dry the tiles in the tub. It's the best way to eliminate water buildup on tiles, grout, and other areas where water can puddle and attract mildew. Keep your shower or bath area as clear from bottles as possible. It will make it easier to find the spots where that water is collecting and you won't see the mildew anymore. You can also use a daily shower spray containing 1 teaspoon of tea tree oil to 1 cup of water and just mist that on the shower walls after each use. You could also do 1 part vinegar and 1 part water. Either way, this is going to prevent the mildew from coming back. Oh, and that pink and orange stuff in the tub and the toilet? That just needs to be scrubbed away and cleaned like anything else we've just talked about. Just use one of those solutions that I discussed and it will quickly be eliminated. Until it comes back again, and yes it will. I have yet to figure out a way to get rid of it entirely. Mold will not grow if moisture is not present, so that's the key to beating it inside your home. Now you know the difference between mold and mildew and what to do about it. This week's common question is, what should I clean next? Let me know down below because I am very curious to see what you want me to clean in an upcoming Clean My Space video. There's a button down there that lets me know you care, so click it if you liked this video and click this button right here to join the more than 200,000 people who have joined us on their journey to a cleaner life. As always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. And now that special time of the week where I get to read off a tablet. So here's some cool comments from last week's video and I'm going to answer them just for you. First one comes from Joe Smith who says, how do you wash your tile floors? I use vinegar and water, but I'm open to better ideas. Joe, I use the same thing. It's either vinegar and water or a little bit of dish soap and water. And sometimes if I want to get real fancy, I put in 5 drops of essential oil. I love eucalyptus and then mop and then my house smells like a spa. It's a win-win situation. Next question comes from Jill Olson, who says, what a great follow-up to your kitchen reno. I assume you also mopped the kitchen ceiling. So what she's referring to is when I use the Swiffer on the wall to get rid of dust. I also used it on the crown moldings, although I don't have any, but just to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. But you can also do the ceiling. If you have a flat ceiling, if you have a popcorn ceiling, it's a little bit more difficult. So yes, you can indeed do the ceiling as well. Next question comes from, maybe I have a stomach ache. Next question comes from 2 Redbird 1. How do you clean your vacuum cleaner brushes, attachments, and hoses? This is a great question. We have a video that's called How to Clean Your Cleaning Tools, which basically runs the gamut of every single cleaning tool that you have in your home and talks about the frequency of when you need to clean it and how to clean it. Now you'll have to pardon the cheesy Harry Potter references in the video, but the information is still really great. And I'll put that for you down in the description box below, or who knows, we might even throw it wherever I normally put those other videos. They're probably right over there. And finally, Natural Wannabe says, great video as always. I'm curious, did the taco kit make it into the new kitchen? Well, yes, it did. Thanks for the great questions, you guys. Keep them coming and we'll do this again next week. See you next time.